Hello, everybody. So if my voice sounds a little bit funny, it's because I have this really bad cough right now, so I apologize. But I am on my way to purchase some inventory for selling, and I figured while I'm on my way I might tell you guys another story. So my last storytelling video you guys really liked, where I was talking about employee theft, and you guys were all in the comments saying more stories. So I got another story today. This one is also about employee theft, but it's a different kind of employee theft, and she almost got away with it. There was just the proper set of circumstances that led me to catching her doing this. So let me tell you what happened. Now, when I owned my bin store, I had a full staff of people. I could literally not be there at all, and the store could run seamlessly. I had a general manager, I had an assistant manager or a shift supervisor, and then I also had employees with certain tasks that they knew that they had to do. So I was there usually 1 or 2 days while the store was open, and then I was there for stock day. The rest of the days that the store was open, my employees were just running the show. Now remember, I've said before that I had many cameras, and so even though I wasn't there, I was always checking the cameras. So typically there was always the same staff on the same days every single week, but there was 1 week in particular where things were a little bit different, and this is how these perfect set of circumstances aligned for me to catch this employee stealing. You guys might remember my sister-in-law, Angie. She has done some videos with me because she helped me list on eBay. So not only is Angie family, but she's worked with me with eBay for years. So when I opened up the store, it was really a no-brainer for her to become my general manager. So she was there every single day, regardless of whether or not I was there. The only time anybody else was in charge was if Angie couldn't be there, or if Angie for some reason had to leave the store, somebody else needed to be in charge during that time. Like if Angie needed to go to lunch, or if Angie had some business errands to run, then the second in charge would be running the store, but Angie was always number one. Well, my brother and Angie bought a house. Yay for them! And she was in the process of moving, so she had asked if she could take a weekend off to move, which means that the assistant manager needed to be in charge on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when it was usually Angie. So Angie was there on Thursday, but she was not there on Friday, and so that was when the second in charge started, doing the whole management thing. So I'm not going to use this employee's real name because this circumstance has long been dealt with, and I just don't feel right about putting her name out publicly, so we're just gonna call her Stacy. So Stacy was the kind of employee that was always needing to be talked to about something, but it was always something small. Like she'd always come back from lunch late, or maybe she would be texting when she was at the register a little too long. And I always, taught my employees to be proactive. If you see a trash can is full, go take the trash out if you're not doing anything else. If you see trash piling up in the bins, go do trash at the bins if you're not in the process of checking out a line of people. And she was just somebody that I or Angie or the other shift supervisor was just always having to be like, hey, go do this, go do this. She needed a lot of direction. But the biggest thing that was an issue was tardiness. That was always a big thing for her, because every morning when she would come into work, she would always have like McDonald's breakfast or Starbucks or something. When she would go to lunch, she would always go out to eat, and so she would come back a little bit late, and she would always blame it on, the speed of service wherever she went to go get food. But it was never in excess of 5 minutes. It was always like 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute. It was never longer than 5 minutes, but she was pretty consistently tardy. So the store had been open for 9 months, and Stacy was one of the original crew. She was one of my original hires, and I really liked her. She was older, and normally being older wouldn't really matter, but most of the staff that I had was very young, and I wanted to have at least 1 or 2 employees that were near my age, you know what I mean? And she was a single mom. I think she had 2 children that were teenagers. And I really liked having the ability to give a single mom in my area a job. Not only was it a job, but it was a job making more money than she was making at her previous job, which she left her previous job to come and work for me. But I liked Stacy. She was an OG that I hired from the very beginning. She was there on opening day. But this week in particular was the straw that broke the camel's back. And who knows how long this would have continued if Angie didn't take the weekend off to move. So this week, Angie was at work on Thursday, and that was gonna be her last day because she needed to move Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So she was there on Thursday when I wasn't, and she had called me about lunchtime when Stacy had gone to lunch. She called me and she said, "Hey Lindy, I just wanna let you know that Stacy was really late today." Well, she's always late. What do you mean by really late? And Angie told me, no, she was like 15 or 20 minutes late. And I was like, oh, well, that's not acceptable. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's no, 2 minutes here and there is, finger wagging territory, but 15 or 20 minutes is just too much. So Angie had asked me, do you want me to handle it? And Angie is GM. So I'm like, yes, go ahead and handle it. I'll stay out of it. Let me know if you need me to talk to her. But yeah, you're GM, you handle it. So Angie said she was going to handle it. And then that was that. Well, the next day, my assistant manager was in charge of the store because Angie was not there. And I got a phone call from her. And she told me that Stacy was about 25 minutes late, like legit almost a half hour. And I was like, whoa, 25 minutes late? And my assistant manager's name was Amber. I'll use her name. And Amber said, yeah, she was 25 minutes late. And I was like, okay, this is unacceptable. She was 15 to 20 minutes late yesterday, and she was 25 minutes late today. I'm gonna handle this myself. So I sent Stacy a text message and I said, what's going on with you being so late? I was told that you were late yesterday and that you were late today. And Stacy says, no, I wasn't. I was just running a couple of minutes behind. I wasn't that late. And so I told her, I said, you might not think that that is very late, but that is very late. I said, we have people in the store at 10 o'clock. You need to be there at 10 o'clock. And she just says, okay. So after she tried to convince me that she wasn't really that late, I decided to go check the time cards from when she punches in and out of work. And you would not imagine my shock and amazement when I looked at her time card and I saw that she had in fact clocked in 5 minutes early on Friday. Yeah, she clocked in 5 minutes early. So the day that Amber called and told me that she was 25 minutes late, she was actually on the clock 5 minutes before her shift started. So how does this happen? So all of my employees would clock in using Square. So at the time we were using the Square payment processing software, and there's also a time card function on this. So whenever employees would get to the store, they would just simply clock in on the registers. And so that's where all of their time cards were kept. I'm here now, but I'm not done with my story yet. Good thing they don't open for a little bit. But there was another function of the Square time cards that I did not tell my employees, but there was an app that you could access your time cards through Square so that you could see how many hours you were getting, and it would give you like an estimated check that you were going to be getting based off of the hours that you've punched in and out during the pay period. And it also gave you the ability to get an instant deposit of your check if you paid a little bit extra of a fee to Square. And so I wanted my employees to have access to the app, obviously. So I told them about the app. I let them know like, hey, this app, you're able to see your hours for the week. You're able to get an estimate of what your check is. You can opt to have a instant deposit for a fee. You can also access things like tax documents, W-2s, paycheck stubs. I mean, the app had a lot of features that I thought my employees could really benefit from. So all of my employees had this app. But what I didn't tell them, I knew it was a function, but what I didn't tell them was you can also clock in and clock out from your app. I didn't ever advertise this to my employees, but apparently Stacy figured that out because she had clocked in from her phone when she wasn't even in the parking lot. So when I saw that she had actually punched in 5 minutes before her shift started, and the same thing the day before she punched in about 3 or 4 minutes before her shift started. When I saw that, the first thing that I did is I went to the security tapes because I'm like, okay, if she's punching in then, where is she? So I'm looking at the security tapes and I was cross-referencing the security tapes because I wanted to be sure. I was cross-referencing the security tapes with other people's time cards. And I was looking, I'm like, okay, when did Amber get there? When did Amber clock in? And I was looking at the tape to compare the times because the timestamps are sometimes a little bit off. So I wanted to make sure that the timestamp on the video camera was coinciding with the timestamp on other people's time cards for the same day. And much to my chagrin, the only way that she was able to have clocked in that much before her shift was if she was using her phone app in order to clock in and out, which was a violation of every law that I can think of. That is a theft of company time. It's a violation of trust. So the next day, I went in and talked to Stacy. I pulled her aside into my office and I was like, we have a problem. And the amount of gaslighting, I swear, the amount of gaslighting that she put on me, I had not felt since I left my first husband. She was telling me that she never would have done that. She had no idea that the app functions that way. She didn't know that she could punch in and out on her phone. She would never, ever clock in if she wasn't actually there. But what she didn't know is that the whole previous day before I talked to her, I was going back and I was looking at all of her timestamps with security camera footage. I went back 2 weeks and I was able to add up the little bits and pieces of time where she had clocked in from her car and then sat in her car and then entered the store. She would clock in 10 minutes early for work, but then show up 2 minutes late because she was eating her breakfast in her car. She was clocking in 5 minutes early and then sitting in her car doing God knows what and then coming back in. So over about 2 weeks, I estimate that she skimmed at least 90 minutes onto her paycheck just from clocking in just a little bit early, sitting in her car, and then coming into work. This bitch. And then she had the gall to try to gaslight me and tell me that she didn't even know that she could clock in from her phone. But when she was doing all of this gaslighting, she had no idea that I had been looking at tapes and cross-referencing that with her time card. So now a question I'm sure that you're asking is, why did it take me so long to figure this out? Why am I not checking time cards when I do payroll? Prior to this week, the offenses were so small, you wouldn't know, like 3 minutes here, 4 minutes here, 5 minutes there. You wouldn't know unless you were actively looking for it. Because like I said, she was always just a little bit tardy, just a little bit. She was always just a little bit tardy. And it got to the point where people stopped telling me. They were just, expecting her to come back from lunch 3 minutes late or to walk in the door at 10:02 instead of 10 o'clock. It just became a regular reoccurring thing that looking at her time card and seeing if she was doing something shady was just not in my mind. And yes, it was my own naivete. It was me being way too trusting with my employees. Go ahead, you can say it. I can take it because I agree. It was my own naivete and being too trusting. I know that it was. And it was something like this that made me start paying more attention. And I know the other thing that you're probably thinking, if she was always tardy, why didn't you fire her a long time ago or make such a threat to her job that she started showing up on time? I was too nice. That's the only thing I could say. I know that a lot of you guys might be thinking, oh, her ass would have been fired, or, oh, I would have let her go a long time ago being late all the time. But you guys, she was a single mom. She always had a good excuse for why she was a couple of minutes late. Yes, I knew that she was always stopping to get stuff to eat on the way. She was stopping at Starbucks. She was stopping at McDonald's for breakfast, whatever. But the reason why she was late and the reason why she was going to get breakfast always made sense. You know, she had to get her kids off to school. This happened, that happened. She didn't have time to eat breakfast. My employees would work really long shifts. You know, they would work like 6 hours before getting their first break some days. So I wanted them to be able to eat breakfast so that they weren't starving by lunch. And for the most part, my employees did work very, very hard. And so I wanted to make sure that they felt taken care of, because owning a bin store, it's really hard to find people that you feel like you can trust, because you're around a lot of valuable merchandise. Theft, like I have told you guys in the past, theft is prevalent amongst employees of bin stores. I didn't want to have a revolving door. I wanted to try to get a base amount of employees that I felt worked and that I could trust for the most part. And I was so focused on the theft of property and the theft of physical cash that I wasn't even thinking about time card manipulation and the theft of time on their payroll check. I wasn't. And I learned a lesson that week. I started looking at everybody's time cards, and luckily nobody else was doing the same kind of shady shit. It was only Stacy. But yeah, so regardless of how much she was gaslighting me, she was fired. And shortly after that, she tried to get unemployment too. And I filled out the paperwork letting the state know why she was fired. And as far as I know, her unemployment was declined. So I did feel a little bit bad about that, again, because she's a single mom, but play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right? I think a lot of people that work a real job where they punch in and out, they don't really see clocking in a couple of minutes early or clocking out a couple of minutes late. Oh, she would do that too. She would leave the store at night. She would leave, she would go sit in her car, wait for a few minutes, and then clock out. So she was always clocking out like 3 minutes later than everybody else. And I know that a lot of people that work a typical job where you punch in and punch out, you don't really think about the 2 minutes here, the 5 minutes there adding up, but they really do. They really do. You know, if you think about it, if you skim an extra 8 minutes a day and you're working 5 days a week, that's 40 minutes a week. That's 160 minutes a month. That's nearly 3 hours a month. That's 1,920 minutes a year, which is an extra 32 hours a year just punching in and out in excess of 8 minutes one day if you work 5 days a week. If you're making $15 an hour, which is what I was paying her at the time, that's an extra $480 a year. And I pay payroll taxes on that. That's coming out of my pocket, out of my bottom line, just for her sitting in her car being shady. So yeah, that's the story of the employee that I had that was stealing company time in a very underhanded and shady way. It looks like my honey hole is about ready to open up, so I'm gonna go for now. If you guys like this video and if you want to hear more story times about the horrors of owning a brick and mortar business, make sure to hit that thumbs up. That is the fastest way for me to know that you like this kind of content so that I can continue to make it. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and make sure to ring that notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post my next video. Check out the video description. I always put a lot of information in there, including the link to my Facebook page. So if you want to know exactly how I am selling merchandise on Facebook, because I don't use Facebook Marketplace, I use a business Facebook page. The easiest way for you to see how I do that in real time is to actually go to my Facebook page and see how I do it. I do also ship items now, so if you see anything that you'd like to purchase, you can join in on the fun and put sold in the comment section. Questions, comments, feel free to put them down in the comments below. Let me have it. Was I naive? I know that I was naive. How would you have handled the situation? Would you have caught on to it sooner? Let me know. And thank you again so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.